But yes, we are going into GogojOey versus Time, which was another matchup
Yeah.
that we were looking at before the bracket was finalized. And then when the bracket did get final, we saw, a couple of shifts. GogojOey had a different opponent, but now he's beaten them. And we have some ZVT on our hands. Kicking things off on Blackburn LE. We're in the bottom right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. We have the red Zerg player coming out from the land of Hong Kong. He is the best player from Hong Kong, representing Juggernaut Gaming. We have GogojOey.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Blackburn LE, we have the Chinese Terran player, the runner-up in the most recent DreamHack Winter. He is blue, representing TvZ Gaming. It is time. Ugh.
And we're starting it on Blackburn.
we are. Oh my god, I have to say that we are so spoiled here. We were struggling to choose between following GogojOey or Miyamika at the start of the night, and it lined up for us and we were able to get both of them.
That's just fate, isn't it? That's just a Juggernaut. That's just a not army magic.
Yeah, I hope Calibre is out there, or at least maybe tunes into the VODs to watch his boys. But we'll see, because even though Time is the runner-up, he's still a pretty good player, one of the best in the Chinese region. So GogojOey, mate, he's got a cut out for it.
He absolutely does.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I'm not sure how whether I want to say this or not, but GogojOey has definitely shown a lot of very impressive ZVT against the likes of, players like Azure, like Expect, like even Seether every now and then. But how does it stack up against a player like Time, who is a lot more multitask heavy, shall we say, compared to the rest of them?
This is when I remind you, mate, do you not remember in the ESL Open Cup when GogojOey 2-0'd Cure?
Of course I remember that.
So he's got it in him, mate. If he can take down Cure, he can take down anyone. But it's one of those things where GogojOey, he has to be on point, right? He's got to be on it. And we'll see. Regardless, win or lose, this is still a pretty juicy matchup.
Without a doubt. Probably the most aggressive Zerg player in the Zergmutter Triangle versus Time, who... aggressive would be a pretty good descriptor of him as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm thinking more like, somebody who's active, I suppose, but then again, every Terran player is active in TvZ, so...
Yeah. I'm really curious to see what he brings to the table here. So far, we see a 3 CC opening, 1-1 into that third. So a very economic based opener here, which is a little bit interesting to me. I wouldn't have been surprised to see a more aggressive or even a 2-1-1 or something like Blackburn. Again, Marine Marauder pushes or Marine Tank pushes I should say, mate, they hit different on Blackburn.
Absolutely. 2 base tank timing can really cripple a Zerg player who's decided to play a little bit more economically, but Time is playing it a bit more safe. He decides, you know what? I want to have a series out of this. Don't want to rely too much on my opponent not making defenses early on.
Exactly. And I have to really wonder how GogojOey is going to approach this as well, because you were touching on a couple of the Terran players that he's gone up against before in the past, but it's been a while. It's been a while since we've seen GogojOey play against a Terran player, and in the past I would say we're probably going to see Lingbane Roach. Roaches are probably GogojOey's bread and butter in this matchup, but it's been a while. We have a new map pool. Has he diversed a little bit? Is he going for something else, or is he still going for the good old Roaches?
Yeah, it definitely has been quite some time since we've seen GogojOey in a ZVT, and I'm sure Azure is thankful for that.
I'm sure he is as well. Last GPO, Azure did not face GogojOey, he faced Pez instead.
Which, unfortunately, he wasn't that much happier with.
I'm sure happier with Pez than he would have been with GogojOey.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh god. But speaking of roaches, there it is. As the Hellions are trying to find some damage, we do have a roach warren being thrown down.
Yeah, time has not scouted this yet. Double Evo following this up as well.
Ooh.
GogojOey really wants to hit hard, and he wants to hit fast with his Roach Ravager.
Yeah, exactly. With that double Evo, it does signify that he's looking to invest into those upgrades as well, not necessarily go for some kind of all-in, but there is a nice timing lingering ahead, right, with that 1-1 once it kicks in. It also means that I guess it's going to be a little bit difficult for time to really push early on. Roach Ravager can do very well in the mid-game, not just against Bio, but also whenever a tank moves forward, it can very easily be biled down.
Really can. It just does a really good job of containing the Terran opponent as well. Because you gotta siege up your tanks in time. You can't leave them unsieged.
Exactly. Meanwhile, I'm a little bit concerned that maybe GogojOey is being a little bit too greedy. He's relying on still nothing but queens to defend against the Hellions, so the Banshees, they dip in, they pull away the attention of the queens, and that will give an opening to the Hellions, but the Hellions actually turn back home.
Yeah, I think Time might have scouted the Roach Warren researching and decided, you know what? Let's not take too many chances here.
Yeah. just in case. But he is rotating around, looking for another way in. The Banshees are trying to find some more damage. They do dip into the main base. Get one drone.
Yeah, it's something. Pulls away a couple more queens, and here's that opening Time wanted.
Oh god, there's nothing here. The Hellions get into the middle line. So many drones are being roasted. At the same time, there is a Ling run by at the third base of Time, and for a moment there, the Hellions did back off.
GogojOey forced to pull back a bunch of Lings as well. 11 drones have gone down. Barely any roaches here to defend. I think the Banshees might have... No, the Banshees are still alive somewhere. And 16 drones have gone down in total for GogojOey. Time loses his Hellions and his Reapers, but they have all more than served their purpose this stage of the game. He doesn't need them for map control anymore, now that he's got drops.
Exactly. Unfortunately, GogojOey was being a little bit greedy. He delayed his roaches for as long as possible, trying to be as greedy as possible with nothing but queens to defend, but we saw Time found a way in. Sure, there was a Ling run by, and there's another Ling run by here. Some SCVs did go down, but nowhere near 16. Like 16, an entire mineral line, mate. Oh no!
It's a mule at the very least. These roaches so isolated. Doesn't take a lot for Time to stim and start a step forward, taking out a couple of them before GogojOey can even get his push ready.
Exactly. 1-1 is done for GogojOey immediately. 2-2 begins. So he is so on point with his upgrades, and we see where he was investing so much of his gas as well. Why the roach count isn't too high. He is going for some mutas.
And it's one way to help deal with the drops, and another way to get some counter harass done across the map.
Yeah, the Spire was not scattered and there are no missile turrets, so the mutas could deal some damage. They could equalize what GogojOey, what was dealt earlier.
They're definitely gonna try. GogojOey already setting them up. He wants to go for a bit of a multi-prong here. He will have 2-2 a little bit quicker than Time, but for now they're both even on the upgrades.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. He immediately dives on the building SCV. 3, 4, 5 SCVs go down. 4 actually in the end, and the stars have finished up in the other bases.
And this is decent damage, but if he loses all of his Mutalists here, he is just leaving himself a very wide vulnerability.
That he is. At the same time, the roaches are trying to find some damage. He does break through the rocks, but again, there's so much SimCity, like the entrenched position with all these spread out siege tanks. It's so difficult to push in here. I don't know if GogojOey should really go for this.
Is he going to be able to get it? He isolates one of the tanks, but the Bio does deal with about half of GogojOey's forces. He's trying to draw them away, trying to isolate small pockets of Bio and deal with them bit by bit, but it's not quite working out yet. Time so quick to reposition every single time.
Yeah, exactly. On top of all that, the Banshees are just going ham on the Roach army as well. Nothing shoots up. There's no detection anyway, even if there was something that could shoot up. And just like that, Time deflects the Roaches, and he also deals with all the mutas.
Nicely done. At the end of the day, they're both even on the worker count.
Yeah, exactly, and they're even on bases as well. That's the worrisome thing. GogojOey, he needs to get another base up and running. He needs to tech up a little bit, and there we go. Baneling Nest is finally thrown down. He knows that he is forced to go into Ling Bane Roach Ravager, but the Baneling Nest is not ready. Neither is Baneling Speed, and Time is getting ready to move out.
What did we say about Blackburn? How easily it is to establish a foothold with tanks and Widow Mines even?
Yeah, it really can be. And unfortunately, GogojOey, he's the one that needs time, but not the player though. He needs a little bit of room to breathe, and he's just not getting it. Meanwhile, okay, the tanks are on siege, but the banelings are still not ready.
And even if they do finish up, I mean, they don't have baneling speed. They're not going to be able to be as effective as otherwise.
Exactly, it only just started, so GogojOey, he has to do the best job he can to slow this down. Unfortunately, the creep is all receding, and again, Time, he establishes another foothold here, sieging up his tanks.
There's really no easy way for GogojOey to move into this, but he is gonna try. Already a very good pre-split here from Time. The tanks are about to be dealt with. And the bio is staying out a little bit, but unfortunately it may not be enough. Never mind, that's a pretty good concave, but here come the reinforcements from Time.
Exactly, two of the banelings get taken out. It looks like one Widowmine shot. Yes, only one goes off. Decent, very decent trade there by GogojOey, and he holds on long enough for his upgrades to finish up.
Yeah, man, I'm just imagining that fight happening again, but with baneling speed.
Yeah, it would have been completely different, mate. And to be fair, baneling speed is still not done. But the Lings, they get on top of the tank. The tank will get piled down. The banelings are waddling ever closer. The bio is still trading so well. The target fire.
Beautifully done. This is without even concussive shells from Time. Trying to come in with a Zergling flank, but it just aren't enough numbers for GogojOey.
Exactly. Unfortunately, baneling speed just finished after all the banelings were killed, and Time still has so much momentum. If GogojOey had only just been a little bit faster, it looks like Time is starting to snowball. Oh, he actually backs off with the majority of his army, so again, he's not looking for a kill move yet.
Yeah, well, he knows that GogojOey has renewable mine for this gold base for quite some time. Isn't quite aware of how much or how few larvae he actually has at his disposal.
Exactly, and GogojOey, at least he gets his 5th up and running. He didn't lose too many drones. He was able to, again, maneuver them and maynard them over towards the top right. The upgrades are done. He has a little bit of time here to reestablish himself, but I mean, mate, the Terran, he's already almost maxed out.
Almost maxed out with 3-3. GogojOey unable to even begin 3-3 of his own.
God, he really is. The drop is being dealt with, but that just leaves the natural base so open. So much of this creep is being dealt with, and even if Time doesn't push in forward with his army, like GogojOey, he's just going to be in the dark now.
Pretty much. Time is more than fine with losing a harassment force or two. If it means taking out drones or taking out a base, he knows that GogojOey doesn't have too much room left to expand. Yeah,
exactly, and with that, GogojOey is falling on every single front. GG gets called, and Time takes game number 1.
Nicely done here. Need a little bit of back and forth. I was not expecting GogojOey to hold with slow banelings, but somehow he did. If he had baneling speed, it would have been. He may have been able to snowball from there, but it was not meant to be. Time. Little bit of a shaky start due to the well, I say a bit of a shaky start, but really it was more of a Time wasn't able to get all the damage he wanted to get done. He still got a lot of damage.
Yeah.
He's got 16 drones. He wanted to get like 32, but he still got 16. That ain't bad.
Oh god, it's really not. It's really not. And just imagine that game if that hadn't happened, right? Like, honestly, I'm very impressed with how GogojOey was able to hold his own for a long time. But oh god, it just it just barely wasn't enough. As we saw, like what if baneling speed had been done like maybe 30 seconds earlier? Like, different game, completely different.
Really would have been.
Honestly, I'm just surprised that Blackburn made it through the vetoes. Like, what's going on? What's what's going on, people? You know, I'm trying to think about GogojOey. Like, right, you vetoed Berlin grad, but then what, right?
I was really surprised that GogojOey decided not to veto Blackburn. I mean, come on, it's Blackburn. It is the map for Roach Hydra pushes, Roach Ravager pushes, and that was kind of what GogojOey wanted to go for. Just a little bit more of an unorthodox version of that, I suppose, with Mutalisk instead of going ham on the Roach Ravager.
Yeah, that's the other thing to bring up, right? The Mutas didn't really pay for themselves. Like, that was a big gas investment that could have been into a Baneling Nest. Just saying.
Mailing speed, yeah. But regardless, we are going to be continuing our series here on Glittering Ashes. I think it's Ashes, yeah, I'm a little confused of the pronunciation. But LE, here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner, the Red Zerg player coming out for the land of Hong Kong, the best player from Hong Kong, just about having a peak in DreamHack. DreamHack Winter, do you mean? He is representing Juggernaut Gaming, GogojOey.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Glittering Ashes LE, we have the Chinese Terran player. He is blue, representing TvZ Gaming, and currently up 1-0. It is time. TvZ.
What of that? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Like, there was a period of time where TvZ Gaming was basically the Terran team, right? But now Bunny's left, Innovation's retired. Is Time the only one remaining?
On TvZ?
On TvZ.
Yeah, potentially. Feels bad, man.
Yeah.
The once mighty.
Bad, especially since I just learned this. Apparently, in the I don't remember if it was the Korean scene or the Chinese scene, TvZ Gaming was also known as the Brotherhood of Lee Terrans or something like that.
Yeah, I'm just quickly checking, and I'd forgotten this because it did happen actually in the middle of DreamHack, if I recall correctly. Soul, aka Spirit, he joined TvZ.
Right, yeah.
He was one of the World Team League
right in the middle of
switches.
It, yeah. And there we go. All right, then.
Yeah, so at least he's got one other. I don't know how often they interact or practice together, but you know, they are teammates. They are teammates.
Yeah. Look, TvZ needs more than one top-tier Terran, at least, every single time.
That they do. Meanwhile, speaking about the game a little bit, we are loading into Glittering Ashes, you know, one of the larger maps in the map pool, so very kind of interesting veto process and dichotomy we have here in map 1 and map 2, one of the smaller maps alongside one of, or the largest actually.
Yeah, compare that to Miomaika versus DRG, where you get the smallest map in the map pool and then the second smallest map in the map pool.
Oh god. So yeah, we'll see if GogojOey has a bit of easier time here. Obviously, this will mean, or this should lean towards a longer and later game. It does mean that these kind of aggressive pushes from Time are going to be a little bit weaker and give GogojOey a little bit more breathing room to, you know, tech up and, you know, maybe get into those mutas a little bit more successfully.
Yeah, potentially the mutas. I'm just wondering how a Roach Ravage game will play out here from GogojOey. You know, if he decides to be hyper aggressive with them, that's a very real possibility that he could box Time into 2 or 3 bases early on, but reinforcing that will be a lot tougher, right? On the other hand, run-bys are going to be hard to defend.
Exactly. That's the interesting thing about this map, is that it can be so difficult to be aggressive just because, sure, there are a lot of pathways into the 3rd and 4th, but there's also a lot of ramps. So if your opponent is able to scout where your army is and where like they need to be, then they can pretty easily like swat you away. So it's very positional based here on Glittering Ashes. So maybe GogojOey can find a way in. Maybe.
So what you're saying is I can fix my TvZ on this map by building sensor towers.
Just build walls, mate. Just wall everything off. You'll be good.
Yeah.
Senses House help too, though.
Ah.
Boy, speaking of GogojOey, he's doing it again. A double Evo chamber. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another Bailey nest.
Yeah, he's figured out what went wrong from last game. No Roachworn yet, so should be more of a Lingbane composition coming out from him.
Yeah, let's go. I love it. A little bit of a treat here. Straight up Lingbane. We actually have melee on the way. I mean, hopefully we're not getting too ahead of ourselves. Hopefully we do see a Bailey nest at some point.
Imagine if it's just... Because I was thinking... I was going to say, you know, we'll see if he gets Muta, so if he just pulls the Dark and goes Lingbane straight into Hive. What if he just goes straight Ling into Hive, man?
GogojOey deserves to die if that happens. Yeah. He would not last long here. Speaking of not lasting long, oh my god, the Hellions, they all just roll into the natural base. There are Lings here to help clean them up, but again, Lings are not the most ideal unit, and a lot of them are being shaved off. Oh god.
Yeah, they're not ideal, especially when Time is able to utilize all of these choke points. Finally, they get taken out. 11 drones go down.
Oh my god.
I can see there was a point there when Time was sort of microing the Hellions, so he's like, man, I wish I got an armory early on, because Hellbats would devastate right now.
I mean, mate, he's not done. The Banshees roll in once again, just like game number 1. They have their cloak, they're one-shotting workers. Game 1, 16 drones went down. Game 2, the exact same thing.
Somebody call Kuro, because 16 is popping up a lot.
Jesus Christ, maybe even more as a 17. Mate, this is too much damage. This is getting far too out of hand.
Time has basically crippled the economy before even going for a push. And now GogojOey is trying to reciprocate that with a Baneling bust of his own. And to be fair, there aren't too many defenses here for Time, but a tank is getting ready to siege up in position. The bio is, okay, it's a little bit clumped up.
I mean, there's nice timing here. 1-1 just finished, so now is the time to just go for it. Oh, the Marines! The Marines! The Marines! No!
It's slow Banes, but the Marines do not split. GogojOey was not expecting these Banelings here this early on, but is it enough for GogojOey to save things?
It looks like all the Marines do. Oh, actually, the Marines just barely managed to pick off every single Ling. Even the depots managed to survive, and Time, he's just on top of the repair.
Oh, one depot goes down.
One did go down. There's a bit of a Ling run by here at the third base, but only 5 SCVs went down. Nowhere near as much as the, what, 20-something? 26 drones. Jesus.
Sure, the worker counts are looking about even right now, but gotta remember, if GogojOey didn't have to remake all of those drones, he wouldn't be hurting this much when it comes to the map control.
Exactly. He'd be ahead when it comes to the workers. You know, he wouldn't be so far behind when it comes to the army supply. Meanwhile, oh god, another Marine. The Marines actually catch all these Banelings as well. Baneling speed is still not done. Not again.
Not a single Baneling. Oh, okay, I think one of them connected, but
yeah,
it barely got any of the Marines here.
Exactly in time. He's just running away with it at this point. Sure, there is a bit of an army here for GogojOey, and there is only a small drop to contend with, so this shouldn't straight up kill GogojOey. Maybe, hopefully. Oh god, it's dealing already so much damage.
Yeah, it shouldn't kill GogojOey, but it will significantly weaken GogojOey for when the eventual push does come.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't kill him, but it's killing him.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh god. Widow Mines are coming in. Time is dropping all over the place. The Bailey nest is a little bit under threat as well. Oh god, oh god.
Yeah, if we can take that out, then that's basically all of the major damage taken out from GogojOey. Really good target firing here in the right-hand side. Finally, one Baneling will connect, but I mean, I'm just looking at the army supplies, 75 versus 27. Time is getting cleaned out here, but the reinforcements are already on the way.
Exactly. It's one of those things where GogojOey, he's going toe-to-toe with, like, the drops, but what about the main army? That's the problem. Time is finally sending it across the map. We even have a Widowmine drop over here towards the bottom right that could go uncontested as well. Finally, all the forces of Time are converging across the map. And GogojOey, mate, he's got to pray. He's got to take up a religion. He's got to do something here if he wants to survive.
He's got to invoke his inner Mio-Micah and just... he's got to pray to Cyan right now. That's what he's got to do.
Oh my god, but Cyan, he is not
tanks.
here.
I want to point that out. This is a bio push without tanks. Time is able to save most of them.
Yeah, but you know what? He still traded so well. The Baneling drop, sorry, the Widowmine drop is coming in. 9 drones have already gone down. Oh my god.
That's a Skadoosh if I've ever seen one. Drawing the majority of the army away as well. GG, Time takes that series 2-0. I don't think he pushed out with tanks even once in that Heartwire game. I gotta tell you. Yeah.
Oh god.
Very well played.
Very well played indeed. GG, congratulations. Time does take it 2-0, and he will move on in the upper bracket to face a Protoss player.